Okay, it is April 19th. This is 19, no, it's not 19 anything. It's 2016. Boy, was I dating myself then. We got a Home Buyer Webby tonight, and I think it's going to be a good one because we are talking about 4 ways to beat the competition to your next dream home. And I can tell you that this is going to be one of those webinars that's going to ring very valid to some people. And the reason I say that is that over the weekend I just happened to talk to one of my clients that's looking to buy a house up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they found a house that they fell in love with, and when they went to place their offer they found out that there were 48, you heard me right, 48 offers on that house that happened between our minute one and a day and a half later. 48 offers on the same house. Now, I can tell you that we had a lot of that this last year. I don't remember any of them being to that crazy number, but you know, it wasn't unusual to have 5, 6, 8 offers on a property. And so what you have to do when you're competing in an arena like that is you have to kind of figure out what is your strategy for getting the sellers to recognize that your offer is a good one or the best one. And the session that I've got today is by no means the final absolute one, but I can tell you it's very solid, and a lot of it comes from what I would do as a mortgage lender that would give you a pre-approval. There's also some kind of cool things that are going on out there that can give you a leg up on other people that haven't found out what they can and can't do as far as pre-approvals and pre-qualifications, and I'm just going to hint at that. But what I'm finding is that the majority of these kind of contests, and it's really a contest to see who the seller thinks is the strongest, best buyer of their house, is you just have to kind of put yourself in the position to be the best, and you have to recognize that just a regular old offer is not going to cut it. And so there's some little subtleties, and there's only 4 that I'm going to present tonight, but I think you'll get some merit. There'll be some merit to that, and I think it'll be helpful to you. So anyway, it's a couple minutes till 7 o'clock, so we're going to start right at 7. Okay, so here we are, 4 ways to beat the competition to your next dream home. I am Mike Durr, the Kingwood Mortgage Guy, and I am thrilled to be here with you tonight. So if you needed to reach me for any reason whatsoever, my number is 281-348-9899. You'll notice here that the ratings, I put these on there because, let me tell you, I am so fortunate to have people that I've dealt with to write positive things about me and put them on Google and the internet and stuff like that. And it's been a big part of the way I get my business, and I kind of operate to get those reviews. I don't know if I'd kind of call it concierge service, but it's built to treat the customers as if they were a family member, and we treat them with the highest regard of respect, and we want them all to be happy. We want them all to give us 5-star reviews, and when that happens, we just really are grateful. So anyway, I wanted to bring that out. I want to point it out because I'm proud of it. All right, so it is 7 o'clock, so here we go. There we go. Home seller. I just mentioned this before. Home seller gets 48 offers on the first day the home was active, and when you have 48 offers, how do you win that? How do you make the seller realize that you're the best one? Well, in some cases, if there are 2 offers, it's competitive. But think about it, 48, that's almost ridiculous. So what strategies can you employ to make your offer stand apart from the others? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And in this session, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the key things that the sellers care about. And that's really what you have to think about is what if you were selling, what would be important to you? So little statistics here. Nationwide, 1/3 of homes sold in less than 30 days. So this is not just a local thing. It's going on all over the United States. And it's not summer yet, but the summer selling season is definitely upon us. And there are signs that some segments of the real estate industry are still hot. Now, there were a lot of people at the first of the year that said the steam that we had in the Houston metro area had cooled. Well, it may have cooled in some areas, but in some areas it is hot. And this is this perfect example of this home. Of course, the house that had the 48 offers, that was up in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, so that was not in this area. But I can tell you that we're dealing with other buyers in the metro area that they're losing out to people because the homes are going fast, and it's usually in the range of 150 to 225. That's an area where there's just a lot of buyers out there, and they haven't been satisfied yet. So home buyers are having a rough time because many homes are under contract for an offer can even be prepared by them. And so what do you do about that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. So number one, and this is a big one, you have to assure the sellers that your financing is rock solid. And that's where I come in. Work with your lender to confirm that your pre-qualification is rock solid. So what will happen, a wise realtor will not hesitate to pick up the telephone and to call me when I've sent out a pre-qualification, and she'll say, or he'll say, Mike, tell me about this borrower, and are they strong? And I'm not obligated to give them any specific information, but at the same time, if I've got a borrower that's a little fragile, that's a hard one. I mean, let me tell you, I want to do the best for my borrowers as I can, but she may, the realtor may sense in my soul that this borrower may not be as strong as some others are, and I'll do everything I can to make it as strong as possible. But the truth is, if they ask those questions, I'm not going to lie about anything, and I'm going to support my borrowers as best I can. But I will do my best to make that happen. If you're a strong borrower, guess what? It makes it's very easy to be confident and say that this borrower can do this conventionally, FHA, they can do it multiple different ways. It's just that they're choosing to go this particular direction. And the reason is, sellers, they don't want to waste their time on offers that will not go through. I mean, it's the biggest thing. They take their house off the market, they may have to move. So they want to make sure they've got a rock solid offer. Having a letter from someone locally who is trusted goes a long way. So this goes back to the reviews. This is Dave Ramsey's information. This is not my information. This is what Dave Ramsey said. And he said having a letter from somebody local who is trusted goes a long way. And that's why I wanted to point out the information there. And guess what? Local boy does good. And anyway, I think that there are things, and there are particularly things that can be done to make your offer look as strong as we possibly can with a pre-approval letter. And with, the state regulates what we put on the pre-approval letter, but I'm working on some things right now that are going to make it even stronger. So anyway, let's continue. 1A, assure that the sellers are your financing rock solid. Buyers can go an extra mile by offering earnest money with their bid. Now, it's not normal that they do that, but traditionally 1 to 2% of the sales price is customary for the earnest money. So just think, a higher deposit not only shows you're serious, but it also shows your ability to pay for it. And bigger in this case is better. If the offer is not accepted, you'll get your earnest money back. So the key is making them understand that you're serious and you've got cash. Why is that important? Because 50% of people that choose not to buy a house, there's one big reason that stands in the way of most people buying a house. Guess what it is? They don't have the money. When they see that somebody has the money to put down in earnest, that can make a big difference. And I can tell you for sure that it would impress me if somebody was going to be buying my house and they've made a substantial down payment, higher or more than what somebody else did. So think about that. That's a big thing. All right, number 2. Here's one that's a subtlety, but bypass the move-in ready and look for homes that maybe need some TLC. These are the homes that aren't snapped up at the click of the button. These are some homes that may be sitting on the market for a time, but they have good bones to them, as Sandy says. In some markets, the price for the home can escalate. It might be a good idea to look past some of the outdated features and look at a neighborhood. Let me tell you, I think the neighborhoods are the critical element. The location is critical, but the neighborhoods are huge and the school districts are huge. But get a feel for the layout, see what you can do with it. Is it livable? And if it is, then you might want to consider this home that's not the hottest one, not the shiny object. While everyone is fighting over the shiny remodel, there may be some great homes with old and ugly carpet, and all it takes a lot of times, I mean, you can save $20,000, $30,000 on a deal like this, and that's $20,000, $30,000 as you could put into your home and take out the ugly carpet and put granite on the countertops, and all of a sudden now yours is the shiny remodel, and you probably got it for less, and the truth is you got it. Whereas the other one that's got all the cool, new, updated stuff is being competed for by 48 different people. Now, this house that I put on this picture here, it looks like to me that the seller, this is actually a home that's currently on the MLS in the Houston market. Matter of fact, it's a Kingwood home. It doesn't look like the seller really spent a lot of time trying to make this look good. And guess what? This could turn off a buyer. But if the rest of the house looked good and that it was priced right, then this would not be something that would turn somebody down that was using this philosophy. So if you go in a house and everything looks like it's showroom or builder ready, you know how the builders have their model homes, that you can just count on paying too much for it, and it may be a good buy, it may be a good value, and you can just move in and just put in your kitchen utensils and you're off and going. But with a little elbow grease, a little TLC goes a long way. Buyers willing to put in the extra work to make repairs will get better long-term value, and the older homes many times have larger lots and more mature landscaping. The trees are more mature, but not always. So you have to be careful about biting off more than you can chew. And the reason I say that is because there are sometimes you take on projects that you know you're not going to have time to finish, and that creates a lot of stress. So I'm not talking about big stuff, big renovations. I'm talking about minor things that are easy to fix. Could be new carpet or new flooring and new countertops in the kitchen or in the bathrooms. So those are the kind of things that can make a big difference. And what I want you to do is I just want you to make good decisions. I want you to make wise decisions. And I want to give you this perspective that it doesn't have to be the shiny object. Include a personal letter to the homeowner with your offer. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is maybe going to work sometime, and it just depends on who the seller is. But let me tell you, there's no harm done. So sending the seller a handwritten note with your offer has been known to touch a nerve with a sentimental buyer or a sentimental seller. It doesn't work every time, and your offer must be competitive. And notice this penmanship here. Actually, this looks familiar. This is my penmanship. But I just put kind of goofy things, but you can say anything you wanted. But I put, we have just moved from a house we lived in for the last 15 years. When we saw your home, it reminded us of the home we loved. You have maintained this home wonderfully, so we're kind of making them feel good. If you choose our offer, we promise to honor the care of the home in a manner consistent with the way it was maintained today. The hopeful next owner. I am not telling you to use that verbiage. Use your own verbiage. But that's the kind of thing you kind of want to pat them on the back for having a great home and tell them that you'll take care of it. And the only reason I mention this is because I know that this can matter. I think back to my wife's house, my wife's parents' house. We sold that, and the people didn't take very good care of it. And to the family that grew up there, it's important when they go by there and they don't want to see a house that's ramshackled a little bit, and you know, the weeds are growing up and the house just hadn't been taken care of. They have fond memories, and of course when they lived there, their dad and of course all the kids that were involved, they took really good care of that house, and to see it in its current state it's a kind of a downer for them. So it could be important. Number 4, work with an experienced agent. Now this is a big deal also, because the good agents, the ones that are full-time, that are out there in the market, they're always tuned into what's going on in the MLS and what's in their area. They're talking to sellers, they're talking to buyers, they're talking to people that are buying a home that are going to have to sell their home, and they just know what's going on out there. They know the deals, they know where the values are, and they know the stinkers. And so what you want to do is you want to tell the agent that you want to be the first one to see any new listings that come up that are in your category, your price range. And some agents know of some homes that are pre-listings. So you want to ask about this when interviewing agents. Sometimes they know because it's a big outfit and they have agents, they call them pocket listings, and they won't necessarily put it on the MLS. They'll just keep it amongst their realtor compadres there. And the other thing is that they just find out stuff because they're in the market. And that's usually going to be your experience, full-time realtors. And I always suggest that you work with those guys. That's not to say that you can't be served well by somebody doing it part-time, but I think you'll be better served by somebody who does it full-time. All right, so summary, the 4 ways to beat the competition to your next dream home. Number 1, assure the sellers your financing is rock solid. Number 2, bypass the move-in ready and look for homes that need a little TLC. And number 3, try including a personal touch, a letter, a note. And then number 4, work with an experienced agent and make sure they understand what the market is and that they're going to be able to give you the time to go and look for a house when it comes up. Okay, so this is Mike Durr, the Kingwood Mortgage Guy. I want to thank you for taking time to spend with us. That was about 15 minutes tonight, and that's all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to get this message out there. Hopefully somebody will get this and it'll be helpful to them. If I can help you, call me at 281-348-9899, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye-bye.